Welcome to Hollywood Unscripted. I'm Natalie, your host and mentor, and someone who's walked the same unpredictable road to Hollywood that so many of you are dreaming about. If you're feeling stuck in a routine, maybe in a job that pays the bills but doesn't light your creative spark, you're in the right place. Today, we're talking about something that so many aspiring Hollywood artists struggle with: breaking out of their comfort zone and taking that leap into the unknown. Whether you're dreaming of seeing your name in the credits or stepping onto set for the first time, this episode is all about creating a plan to make it happen. We're diving into mindset shifts, actionable steps, and a bit of real talk about what it takes to grow into the Hollywood professional you've always wanted to be. So grab a notebook, some wine, coffee, whatever it is, and settle in. And let's talk about stepping into a life that excites you. Okay, let's start with some honesty. How many of you have felt stuck in a routine? Maybe you wake up every day, head to a job that feels secure, but in the back of your mind, you're asking, is this really it? Routine feels safe, and trust me, I get it, but safety doesn't equal growth. And in Hollywood, growth is everything. I remember early in my career working in a salon, I had great clients, a steady paycheck, but I couldn't shake the feeling that my creativity was stuck in a box. I'd watch movies and dream about creating those on-screen looks, but the thought of leaving that comfortable job was quite terrifying. What if I failed? What if Hollywood was too big, too competitive, too impossible? I was letting all these people get into my head, all the naysayers and everything, and it just really was digging at me. But here's the truth. Staying in that routine was scarier than taking the risk, because deep down, I knew that if I didn't try, I'd regret it forever. This had been my dream since the 9th grade, and this is what I wanted to do. And honestly, that was what helped me become fearless. I was going to do anything to make my dream become a reality, and I did not want to get stuck working in a salon. Nothing's wrong with working in a salon, but for me, it just wasn't for me. And working in one for a couple years before I started my journey really solidified that for me. And I'm grateful that I had experienced that before starting my journey in Hollywood. I got it out of my system and got more clarity on what I truly wanted for my future. So does any of this resonate with you? Is this a place where you're at right now? Are you holding back because the unknown feels overwhelming? Where are you right now? Are you in a routine that feels too comfortable? What's that dream tugging at the back of your mind? Do you want to work on set? Do you want to work in fashion? Do you want to work on the runway? Do you want to work in theater? What is it that is pulling you and drawing you in to the idea of working in so-called Hollywood? Now let's talk about creating a vision, a guiding light for those tough days when self-doubt tries to take over. In my salon days, my vision wasn't just about working on Hollywood sets. It was about being part of stories that moved people, about creating characters that came to life on screen. I was fascinated with it. I started with a vision board, a literal one filled with movie stills, photos of artists I admired, and little notes reminding me of why I was pushing for something more. It wasn't about having everything figured out. It was about keeping that dream in front of me so I wouldn't forget why I was fighting for it. Take a moment to think about your own Hollywood North Star. What does success look like for you? Maybe it's walking onto set for the first time, working on an award-winning project, working with your favorite actor, or maybe even winning an award, or being someone that productions can't wait to hire. Whatever it is, write it down, stick it somewhere where you'll see it every day, on your mirror, your fridge, your laptop, whatever, and keep it top of mind. I'm going to have a little sip of my wine. Okay, here's the truth that no one likes to talk about. Even with a clear vision, Hollywood is going to test you. You'll face rejection, unpredictable schedules, and moments where you question everything. Resilience isn't just helpful, it's essential. It's your secret weapon. I remember one of my first big set jobs. The hours were brutal, the pressure was intense, and to be honest, I felt like I was in way over my head. But instead of running from the challenge, I leaned into it. I reminded myself of my why, stayed focused, and learned to take every challenge as an opportunity to grow. Remember this, every tough day teaches you something. Look at setbacks as lessons, not failures. Here's a tip I use even now at the end of a rough day. I write down one thing I learned. Maybe it's about communication, time management, or even something small like organizing equipment. These little lessons turn these so called obstacles into stepping stones. And my favorite saying when I was getting started that I'd always tell people, don't worry, it's just a little speed bump. Some of them take a little bit longer to get over than others, but a lot of them you just go right over it and then it's over. So that's really what helped me get through all of those tough times. And I'll tell you my beginning stories in another episode, but we'll get down into the nitty gritty, all of the ins and outs of how I got started. And I will just start from the beginning and move on throughout the last 17 years. Okay. So getting back, have you had moments where everything felt like it was falling apart? What helped you get through it? Those moments are proof that resilience is already within you. It just needs to shine a little brighter, okay? Next, we're going to get to the practical side of this. If you're ready to break out of the routine, here are 3 steps you can start taking today. 1, dip your toes in. Start small. Reach out to local film projects in your city. Do not think that you have to move somewhere because let me tell you, Hollywood is spreading all over the world. So, see if there's any kind of film productions within your town or close by because I never would have thought that Hollywood would go to my hometown area and it has been booming. So, you never know when one's going to come through. So, keep an eye out for that. Google search, see if there's some kind of list that lets you know that there's any kind of productions or any kind of film shooting there. I'll get together some different lists for you throughout the episodes and resources. But right now, just Google search film projects, indie films, community theater projects. Also go to your news stations, see if they need help, but offer to assist, be the hair or makeup artist, or shadow someone on set. Because these experiences will give you a taste of what set life is like, help you build confidence, and open doors. Okay, so number 2, build a supportive network. Hollywood is all about relationships, so surround yourself with people who understand and support your passion. Whether it's a mentor or an industry group like the Hollywood Elite, your network will be your lifeline. Okay, so step number 3, educate yourself. Learn, learn, learn. Stay ahead of the curve and read industry books, watch behind the scenes content, invest in training programs. If you're serious about building expertise, don't underestimate the power of education. And I cannot say that enough. I am always learning. And that's one thing that I love about this industry is that it keeps you on your toes Always, always, always learning. So even if I'm not the type of person that um is just in doodling, and that's why it's hard for me to do social media, because I don't, for some reason, I don't love to do hair at home. I just don't love it. You can ask anyone that's close to me. It's like it almost turns into a chore when I'm doing it at home. I just cannot get excited about it. I've been trying for 17 years. I don't know what it is. It's because, I, for years, anytime you're home, everybody is begging you for a haircut. I don't know. I can't figure it out. But when I get a project, oh my gosh, I am like zoned in. I am deep diving on education, like whatever. I'm huge into period pieces. So as soon as I know what it is, I start living in that era. So I'm the type of person that it's like almost like I deep dive study per project. So because I do because I do period shows, it's hard to constantly be practicing every era of history. So when I do it for social media, I'll pick something and I'll do it, or when I get requests, I'll do it. But yeah, so don't beat yourself up if you're not constantly practicing your skills, whether you're a hair or makeup artist, but just know that, like, say you can't do period hair, you don't know how to do period hair, you need to take classes on understanding it, so that way if you do get an opportunity, you could practice it and you could get it down, days before. Or if you don't know wigs, you need to learn wigs. Or if you don't know barbering, you need to learn barbering. Um, if you don't know African American hair, it's a totally different thing. Even Latin hair, it's a totally different thing. And Caucasian hair, it's a totally different thing. So whatever your strengths are, obviously you can kind of put that aside a little bit. Like for me, contemporary hair. I was so into period hairstyling for so long. When I had to do a contemporary show, it was like, oh my gosh, this is a period piece for me. I had no idea, didn't realize I had gotten so out of tune with what contemporary hairstyles were. So I had to study and research and practice. So understand your strengths and your weaknesses and take courses on those weaknesses, okay? All right, so let's get back on track. Breaking into Hollywood doesn't happen overnight, but every small step builds momentum, okay? And if you're looking for a place to start, that's exactly why I created the Hollywood Elite membership. It's not just a membership, it's a guidebook, a support system, and a roadmap for stepping into your dream career. All right, so that's it for today's episode. Everyone, thank you for spending this time with me. If there's one thing I want you to remember, is this: you are capable of so much more than you give yourself credit for. All right? If I can do it, you can do it. I came from a small town in Arkansas. Everyone was against me about doing this. They thought it was crazy. You need to get a real career. You need to do this. You need to do that. And I'll go dive deeper into that later on. But if I can do this, you can do it. I didn't get a college degree. I went to cosmetology school right out of high school. Literally, I think I just turned 18. So anything is possible. You just have to believe in yourself, okay? And then take that first leap, no matter how small it is. Write down your vision, build connections, and chase opportunities. And if you want some extra guidance and you're ready to take it seriously, check out my Hollywood Elite membership. It's not crazy expensive. I did that on purpose. I want everybody to be able to get into it. It's designed to help creatives like you turn your dreams into a career. I want to help those that were like me not have to go through all of the trial and errors and trying to figure it out, I'm hoping that your career will take off even faster than mine. And I was very blessed with a career, but I really want to help you do that as well. If this episode helped you, don't forget to subscribe, rate the podcast, and share it with a friend who needs a little motivational boost, okay? Until next time, keep dreaming, keep growing, and keep stepping closer to your Hollywood story. I know you've got this.